Ask any Brazilian about soul music, and there's one name that always comes up: Tim Maia. The gregarious godfather of Brazilian soul learned about American R&B firsthand. He spent several years in New York in the late 1950s and early 1960s, even joining a Tarrytown doo-wop group before he was arrested on drug charges, jailed, and eventually deported. Back in Brazil, Maia struggled to catch a break in the music biz before teaming up with pop star Eduardo Araújo for his 1969 record A Onda é Boogaloo, or The New Wave is Boogaloo. The record wasn't a huge hit, but it allowed Maia to show off his love of American soul music, penning Portuguese cover versions of songs by James Brown, Wilson Pickett, and Aretha Franklin. Among the very first soul records in Brazil, A Onda é Boogaloo helped open the door for Maia, who recorded 4 solo albums on Polydor Records between 1970 and 1974. A year later, he joined a transcendental religious cult, started his own record label, and recorded 2 of the funkiest and most bizarre albums ever to come out of Brazil.
Listen, you all. We're gonna tell you the most important thing that you ever heard in your life. You never heard that before.
Soul music developed its own cult following. Cassiano, Tony Tornado, Hilden, and Dom Salvador are just a few of the singers who brought the sounds of Philadelphia, Motown, and Memphis south of the equator. While singers like Cassiano and Hilden cooked up love songs, a more politicized movement was simmering in the mostly black working-class suburbs in the northern zone of Rio de Janeiro. By the mid-1970s, tens of thousands of young soul cats attended parties to dance to the funky sounds of James Brown. The soul scene that came to be known for afro hairdos and a black and proud mantra can actually be traced to an eccentric white DJ named Newton Duarte, better known as Big Boy.
Hello, crazy people. Biggie Boy. Hello, crazy people. Aqui fala Biggie Boy, apresentando o baile da cueca.
Brazil's answer to Wolfman Jack, Big Boy completely revolutionized national radio in the late 1960s, bombarding the airwaves with AC/DC and Stevie Wonder, Led Zeppelin and the Jackson 5. The mile-a-minute radio jock teamed with DJ Ademir Lemos, throwing wildly popular dance parties in Rio's southern zone, called Baile a Pesada, or the Heavy Dance. It was Mr. Funky Santos, a black DJ from the northern zone of Rio, who first chipped away the rock to throw pure, unadulterated soul shakedowns. Other DJ crews bought mobile sound equipment and joined the party. Black Power, Soul Grand Prix, Cashbox, and Furacão 2000 were among the pioneers. The phenomenon was called Black Rio, but by the middle of the decade, the parties had spread to dance halls in Sao Paulo, Minas Gerais, and Bahia. Tall platform shoes and oversized afros were standard attire, but as dancers asserted their black pride, white elites grew nervous. The movement coincided with the most repressive years of a military dictatorship that held political power for more than 2 decades. In a country that often imagines itself to be colorblind, Black Soul defied the national narrative of racial democracy, and it was disparaged for not being authentically Brazilian. DJs and dancers were harassed and interrogated by the military police, who saw the huge gatherings as a threat. Nonetheless, record labels lined up to cash in on soul music's popularity. DJ crews released compilations of rare American soul singles. Warner Records formed Banda Black Rio, or the Black Rio Band, and Polydor answered with União Black and Gerson King Combo. These groups walked a tightrope, attempting to capture the spirit and pride of Black Rio while at the same time remaining politically palatable. The musicians weren't new to soul music, but they often found themselves with little creative control. The final years of the decade saw the rise of disco along with its Brazilian counterpart Charme. As soulful evenings faded into boogie nights, the dances never stopped. DJs simply adapted and switched up the soundtrack. Today, thousands of young people pack dance halls all over Brazil to grind to the pounding rhythms of carioca funk.
Pavarotti, Pavarotti.
The seeds of these dances were planted nearly 4 decades ago with Black Rio. It's the meaning of the word funk that's changed.
Eu tenho 2 amigos,